Hello everybody, this is Jacob from When'd You Me This, and today I got $1,600 out there. There's 900 in black, 100 in red, 500 in green. Actually I got $1,500 out there. Sorry, I'm supposed to have 1,600. My bad. Alright, sorry. Made an error in my mathematical. But anyways, so $1,600. We're going to use the 160 across betting today. So I'm going to get into this now. I'm kind of exhausted the farming thing, right? Kind of looked at that play or whatever you want to call it. See, a lot of these things I look at like CRAPS concepts, right? Farming the field's a concept. Something that a lot of people have done. It kind of works, kind of doesn't. We know it's similar to like laddering or martingaling, right? Kind of work and they kind of don't. In most of those cases, on the light side, when they work really, really good. And when they don't work, they work really, really bad. So across betting is a very common way to play, right? Inside betting, across betting, and the 6 and 8 are probably the most common ways to play outside of the pass line, right? The pass line is probably number one. And then after that, it's 6 and 8 inside bets, across bets. I would say as far as craps goes across the board. Most players either do that all the time now or have done it all the time in the past or started that way or whatever the case may be. But these styles of play are very consistent, right? Throughout the craps world, people play this way. Why? Well, one of the main reasons is the huge probability advantage, right? So as you start buying numbers, essentially investing in each number, you get more combinations of the dice per roll. So 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, and 3, right? So by the time it's all said and done, you end up with 24 combinations out of 36. And then on top of that, they're positive payout bets. And what I mean by that is they pay more than you have bet on them. So you have a quarter on this, you're going to win $49 instead of just another 25, right? So, whereas if you had a pass line bet and it was on the 4, that's flat bet. You're only going to win a quarter more. So that's why so many people play the box numbers. That's why so many people play these numbers and they place them or they buy them or odds on them, whatever the case may be. They're trying to get that positive payout, right? That plus money. And that's a big part of the game. You should be doing those things. You should be gaining that advantage because you want to be able to win, right? So across betting kind of gives you a lot of the game, right? It's like 2/3 of the game, exactly 2/3 of the game. If you across bet all this, it's 2/3 of the combinations. The problem with across betting is 1/7 lose all bets. If you roll the 7, you're going to lose all the bets. That's the issue, right? So to make this effective, if you just same bet, you'd have to win 4.5 times to get your money back, right? Most likely you have to win 5 times. You could hit the 4s and the 10s and it would be less, right? You could win 4 times to get your money back, to get your 160, all right? To profit, to be in the profit. So how do you combat that? So first, actually, before we talk about how you combat that, let's just show that, right? The 160 across would look something like this. There's going to be the green chip on every number plus your 2 caps on the 6 and 8. All right, why am I using a $1,600 bankroll? Because that gives me 10 tries at this, right? Gives me 10 tries at this 160. So the good thing about place bets is you can turn them on and off. That's one of the, you can take them up and down. They're not contract bets, they're not stuck. All right, so you could play this way, you could wait for one win and pull it all down and just collect your money. And guys, to be honest, that's probably one of the best strategies there is. If you can wait for one hit and then pull your money down and be satisfied, you're probably going to leave a winner a lot of the times. All right, but I'll talk about that later. I'll talk about some concepts and some thought process in that later of that one hit and just leave thing. And I'll talk about the longevity of that. But we're going to do that maybe in a different video, but it'll all be part of this 160 across concept, cross betting concept. All right, so let's roll some of this. We're just gonna same bet. We're just gonna collect, set us a point. We're never working on the point because people don't do that for the most part. Handful of people I know do it, most people don't. All right, so we're just gonna same bet. There's a 3. The first one's a 5, obviously. And a 5. All right, hit our point. So this is another issue if you're not gonna work on the come out. A lot of times you'll hit these and you know, now you're coming out again. Now you're having to restart the whole process again. I'm gonna move these over here so I can put my profits right there so you guys can see them well. All right, so here we go, coming out. So if you're not gonna work, now you have another dead roll that would have been a winner, right? An 8. Now, obviously you have a less roll to be a loser, but if you're gonna be on anyway, coming out, now it's kind of a moot point if you're not playing the pass line. All right, there's a 35. If you're playing the pass line, it makes all the sense in the world to not work because you're giving yourself the advantage to win on the line. But if you're not, if you're just playing, then it really doesn't make any difference. There's a 4-1-5. All right, so we got 3 hits. So 3 hits. So we've got 3 winner rolls, and we're still only at a $105 win. We still haven't even got to where we need to. And a 10. Okay, so this is going to pay 50 for one, guys. We're just going to pay 50. It'll make it easier. So this is one of the cases where you actually almost make it, right? The 160, because we have 75, 100, 125. We have 155. So in 4 rolls, we almost have paid for what we have out there. But if we roll a 7 right now, we're a $5 loser. And we got an 8, so we got our point. So this, so far, this one has went really well, right? $35. All right, so we're actually a winner on this roll. And we're going to start adjusting them because we made it. So we're going to count this one as good. We're just going to... Sorry, guys, I dropped that. We're just going to rack it up because we made it. We know we made it to the profit. So now even if we roll, we go out before we win again, it will be profitable. And there's a come out 7. That's not going to hurt us. It's a good time to have it. That's why I'm saying is if you are on the come outs and you're on the line, then you should be off on your box numbers. Back-to-back 7s. But if you're not on the line, it doesn't make a lot of sense to be off. There's an 8. I know right there people will be like, but you just rolled back-to-back 7s, you'd have lost twice. I mean, there's always that. There's that chance right now. You know, you set your point, you could roll a 7 just as easily. So there's a 10. Again, we're not going to worry about the bid. We're just going to pay the 50. All right. I'm just going to see how many times this wins, right? This is just shooter number 1. So in this case, it worked well, right? The across betting has worked fantastically. All right. Another $50 on that hard 4. And 7 out. Okay. So I don't know how much we made. We made a little extra there. We'll count it up just to see. So in that case, it did fantastic, right? Did great. So where are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So we're up all these red chips. Looks like a little more than $100. All right, not bad. A lot of winners to only be up $100. But you definitely take it. You wouldn't poo-poo on it. All right, shooter number 2. Same thing. We're just going to same bet it. Remember, it takes 4.5 rolls. There's a 10. That's our point. To be profitable. So obviously you can't have a half a roll. So roughly it takes 5 winner rolls, hits on the boxes to be profitable. when you're doing it in a cross bet. And it doesn't matter which a cross bet is if they're all equal. Like if it's all equal like this. $35. That's one. And we got a 617. Okay, so in this case we only had one hit and then we lost $160. So all what we won in the first round, we essentially just gave back right here. And that's the problem, right, with the cross betting right there is you have to hit multiple times to make it profitable, to make it work. You have to hit multiple winners. Now, how do you combat that? How do you do things to eliminate the necessity of having to hit multiple winners? Well, there's a couple ways. One, when you do win, you can press. Now, this doesn't put any money in your rack, but it means it gives you an opportunity for your next roll to be worth more. And so, let's say instead of needing 3 winners, or instead of needing 5 winners, you could possibly only need 3 winners. Or, another way you could do this is you could say, okay, I'm only going across for 2 hits. What that does then is you're saying, I am happy with winning $70 on this shooter. If I can win $70 on this shooter, great. So at that point, what you're doing is you're risking 160 to win 70. And you're giving yourself 24 winners versus 6 losers. So 1 in 4 chance you lose. Four times, you know, you're going to hit a number. So roughly when you add all that up and you calculate all that, only going for 2 hits, you're going to do this about half the time. It's going to be successful. Probably it's a little more than half the time. All right, so here we go. That's what we're going to do this time. We're just going to see if we can just get 2 hits and then come down. All right, there's a 3-2-5. And a 5-3-8, so that's 35. Let's put it over here for now. It's 1 winner. If we need another winner, then we'll pull down. Get our risk off the table. And there's a 5-3-8 again. Okay, so now, instead of waiting until we hit 5 times, we're only hitting 2 times and we're being satisfied with it. Turn your bets off. Say, dealer, I want my bets off. Boom. They turn your bets off. You roll out the shooter. Now, the negative part of this is if this guy goes on and shoots 20 times, you missed out on all that extra money. Now, if he rolls a 7 within the next 3 hit rolls, see right here, so you did a good job. So this is a double-edged sword on this one, right? So we did a good job there. We saved ourselves however much money that ends up being, you know, $180 or $80 or whatever is what we saved ourselves. $90, which was good, right? We did a good job there. Only going for 2 hits and down. And again, 2 hits and down, you're going to succeed far more often. But you have to be satisfied with that. And you have to also, if you're going to play that 2 hits and down style, you have to be willing to watch a long roll go and you not have anything, you not make anything on it. So one of the things you can do, if you are going to play the 2 hits and down style, is you play the ATS with it. And when you play the ATS with it, that keeps you in the game if the roll goes really long, right? And so you still have a chance to win something on the big long roll. So a lot of times, if you're looking for 2 hits and down, maybe you play, because you're going to win $70 most likely in this case, maybe you play that 20 on the ATS. So now you've got a $20 ATS bet out there, you know, however you, 15, whatever you want to play over there. But that gives you the opportunity to stay in the roll. So that's one way for the guys that like to play those couple hits and down style. If you're just going to do that, you probably should throw some ATS money out there. It'll keep you involved in the game. Plus, it'll take some of the sting out of you not being there for the long roll. Because most likely a long roll is going to hit the ATS. If it's something that's really, where you're just like, man, I missed out. An 8 roller, not a huge deal. But, if it goes 20, it is a big deal. So we saw like 2 hits and down and how it can save you. And, if we would have rolled 20 rolls, we would have been like, dang it, we missed out. So now let's turn this 160 back on. But this time, let's press the bets. So this is what we're going to do. On each hit, we're going to press the initial hit on each number. We're going to full press it, or press it a whole green chip is what I'll call it. So just on the initial hit though. Now, so that means that we're going to collect a little. On the 4, we'd collect a little. On 5, we're all going to collect a little, but we're going to press it up. So what this should do, if we have any repeater winners, we'll get to that 160 a lot quicker. All right, here we go. Coming out. 628. Oh, come back here. 516. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to press it up 30. We're going to win 35. We're going to press it up 30. So now what we have is we still have that 30 in profit sitting out there, but if we roll that 6 again, instead of winning 35, we're going to win 70. And so now in 2 rolls, we'll have won over $100. And so that's the idea behind pressing. Now, obviously you have to re-roll the numbers. And it does happen more than you think. 5 do 7, and we'll be out. There was not an 11, it was a 7. And that's fine. Guys, I'm just going to adjust it like this. I'm going to drop the 160. All right, try this again. Now, that roll was so short, it would have beat any of the strategies. It wouldn't even have worked on the 2 hits and down. All right, so let's try this again. 6 deuce 8. So a cross betting, in my opinion, it's just it's a concept of the game. The strategy is what you do with it. Do you go 2 hits? Do you just wait it out, same betting? Are you full pressing? Are you power pressing? There's a million ways to do it. That last one was a 12, guys, and then this one was a 7. So again, we lost. We didn't even have one single win. I know it might have looked like it was a win, but it was definitely a 12. All right, we're gonna drop 160 again. So this is the negative side of it, right? We didn't even have a single win, and we're getting hit for $160 a pop. We got a 6 deuce 8. We are on the 8 point, that's for sure. Ridiculous amount. All right, let's do it again. We're gonna get a winner. All right, we got a 10. That's perfect. We're gonna press it up a quarter, so we're gonna get 50. I know there's a dollar vig involved, guys. I'm not worried about that right now. All right, so we got 1 hit. So if we roll that 10 again, we just won 50. We'd win 100, so we'd almost be to our goal. Oh, I was hoping we'd get it right there. And our goal is to cover these bets out here. The initial bet, the initial 160. All right, so that's an 8 that's going to win 35. We're going to press that. We really would like a repeater because that's what makes the pressing work. You have to repeat numbers for the pressing to work. There's a 3. Or you have to press whatever, you have to hit your press numbers is what it boils down to. Because if you pressed a different number than the number you hit, that would change things. All right, a 9. So again, it's 35. And I want to point out that just because you're putting this money out here, you could take it down. So you have 3 hits right now. You've won $105, or a little more. Again, we hit the 10. So we've won a little more than $100. So again, we're still looking for the 8, 9, or 10 here, and we would have done it in 4 rolls. And there's an 11, or 4 hits, not 4 rolls. We'd have done it in less than the 4.5. And there's a 6. All right, so that's our 4th win. At this point, you might want to pull your money down, right? You might want to pull down because pressing it didn't really do anything for you this time because you didn't have any repeater. There's a 6. Had one there, but well, we were off because it was a come out. All right, let's see. And 7 out. So we basically broke even on this one. I believe if I would have calculated it all up, we have just a little bit less, I think, than we had out there. All right, let's try it again. Let's drop our 160. All right, I want to show you what it looks like. I want to show you what it looks like when you actually hit a repeater, if we can ever do it. There's a come out 7. There's an 8, imagine that. 8 is our point. That's not a hard 4, guys, it was an 8. All right, come on now. 9, okay, come on, let's repeat the 9. Hopefully we repeat the 9. 35, press the quarter. Here we go. 7, dang it. The cross betting, man, the light side betting, with no protection against the 7, it can be a very, very, very hard thing to do. Drop 160. And we got a 459. At least it's not an 8 point. Maybe this will change something. It's a 9 point this time. Come on, repeaters. And 7. Wow. Ouch. PSO. Again, absolutely crushing us. 160. Do it again. So far, all we're doing is just giving them chips to the casino, which is always great. 314. Here we go, and a 9. Oh, all right, no PSO this time. $35. Can we replay that 9? Let's go 9. Come on. So we've won 35. See if we can get. Nope, there's aces. Can we get the 9? 5, okay. Now we have 2 numbers that'll be pressed up. And I'm trying to show you why pressing matters. It's, you know, when you PSO and stuff in any kind of situation like this, nothing's going to work, right? If you're light side and you PSO, nothing you do is going to work. All right, so there we go. We repeated the 5. All right, so remember, we've won 35 and 35. And now we're going to win 70. So now in 3 hits, instead of only winning 105, we've won 140. And that, so we took a huge chunk of the necessary outcomes away by hitting a repeated number, right? So now you could press that on there too, or whatever you're going to do. You could just collect it. But that's the idea behind it. Why pressing is important, because it gets you to your profit where you're playing with the casino's money quicker. And also you're pressing, so you're trying to make more money. So 538, so this would put us in the good. So instead of 4.5 rolls, we're able to accomplish it in 4 rolls. Now, to actually accomplish this, you'd have to take down these pressed bets. That would give you more than the 160. Otherwise, you haven't won more than 160 if you're going to leave them out there. But in this case, we're just going to leave them. We're just going to keep going, see how far it goes. 6 deuce 8. This time I'm going to go on and press them. Still just going to press it 1 green chip level each time. and see if we can make some money. 9, good. There we go. It's going to win 70. We had 75 for 5. Press it, collect 50. So obviously as we go here, these are going to get more and more and more lucrative if we can keep winning. And we didn't. We got a 7. But anyways, you guys got an idea of how that looks, why the pressing matters. Guys, to be honest, unless you're already in the profit, unless you're already in where you're playing with the casino's money and all your bets on the board are paid for, then you should never same bet. It should always be regressing or progressing, because until you are on the casino's money, your money is still at risk. So you should be doing things to affect the game. Now, once you're on the casino's money, same betting is fine, because every roll that's a winner after that is just more of the casino's money. But before that, it's your money. So keep that in mind, guys, that same betting will get you beat. You really need to be doing something in the game until you're playing with profit. Once you're playing with profit, then same betting is just fine, because it's all free. It's all profit then. It's no longer something at risk. And so anyways, guys, I hope you guys like this. This is going to be a video series. I'm going to do 5 videos about a cross betting. I'm going to do some regression with it, some like power pressing versions of it, some just different things people do, ideas behind why a cross betting works so well, why it loses so well. I mean, there's like any strategy in every way to play craps, it's good and it's bad. There's no perfect one, right? There's nothing that you go and it just wins every time. That doesn't exist. If it existed, they wouldn't put the craps table in there. They're not just going to let someone come and win every time. So again, guys, hope you liked the video. This is a small version tutorial on cross betting. We're going to talk more about this. Like I said, it's going to be 5 video series. Hopefully you guys tune in for all that. Another thing, guys, tomorrow will be my first episode of the football. I'm only doing NFL stuff this year, guys. So every Wednesday, sometimes it'll be during the day, sometimes it'll be at night. Just depends on my work schedule. But every Wednesday, I'm going to come on and I'm going to give you guys my plays for the Thursday game. And then for the full rest of the slate, I'm going to give you guys my favorite money line bets, dog and favorite, ATS bet, dog and favorite, my favorite over, my favorite under, my favorite prop bet, my favorite teaser, and my favorite parlay. And I'm going to give you this every Wednesday. Again, guys, remember that it's going to be on Wednesdays, so a lot of things can change between Wednesday and Sunday. So keep that in mind. You know, obviously, if we bet on, I tell you to bet on a team and the starting quarterback gets hurt in Friday practice, you probably should lay off, you know. But anyways, guys, thank you for your time. This is Jacob from Wagering This.